Hi, thank you for coming to the workshop. It's Mrs. Ocasio, the career coach and personal development. And I'm glad you're here. We have a very important topic that we're working on for the workshop. The first thing before we get started, I want to make sure that you have a few things that you're going to need for the workshop. You're going to need a journal, something to write with, all right? And then maybe some water or something to drink in case you get thirsty. And of course, a comfortable place to sit with maybe your comfortable sweater and a blanket, because we have some things that we're going to do today for the workshop. So if you need a moment, I have some meditation music on. Go get the things that you need, and I'll meet you right back here in a few. Okay, let me give you a minute. I was hoping that you'd bring everything you needed to the workshop, but if you don't, make sure that you grab a pen and some paper or something to write a few notes on, because we have some exercises that we're going to be doing today. Okay. So again, I'm so glad you're here for the workshop. Was looking forward to seeing you and having everyone being able to participate. Okay, so the workshop that we're doing, let me just show you the itinerary. It's called Rediscover Your Career Confidence. And it's going to be about how if you have a career that no longer fits you, how you can move towards a more satisfying and enjoyable goal to be able to rediscover yourself and find something that fits. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over the agenda for the workshop. I wrote a few things out here, and unfortunately, they look like they might be backwards on here, so don't really know what to do about it, but let me just tell you them. We're going to have an introduction, all right? And then we're going to share my story a little bit. So if you don't know who I am, we can do that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about my coaching promise for when I coach people. And we're going to do a few exercises, a few journal prompts, and we're going to make sure we have those available. And I'm also going to put them down in the comments for you if you need to look at them again. Okay, so let's get started here, okay? So my story is how I became a life coach or a personal development coach and helping with careers is I've been teaching. I've been an educator for over 15 years, and I decided that a better way to explore my desire to help people and make changes in people's lives, meaningful changes, would become a life coach. So that's kind of where we are. So maybe you're somebody who kind of signed up for the workshop, maybe you're a former student, and maybe you're just someone who's looking to have some help with career development. Okay, so there's many different reasons why people would be here, okay? So this is what we're going to do first on the agenda. So we're going to talk a little bit about clarity and change, okay? So with my story, I realized that change didn't happen in my life until I had a willingness and a desire to make take some steps. And if you had an opportunity to watch my video on motivation, I would encourage you to reflect on that. If you haven't watched it, it's very, very good and has a lot of information on steps that you can take if you don't feel motivated to move and take steps towards change. But, you know, I spent years in traditional teaching and pouring my heart out to others to help them grow. And, you know, deep down, I knew that life could be more meaningful and I could have a greater impact if I moved towards my next chapter in life. Okay. So if you're one of my students and you're watching, and I know there's rumors going around that, you know, I left for silly reasons, you know, like 6-7, didn't leave for 6-7. I don't know what it means, and I actually don't think that you students really know what it means either. Something about a basketball player, something about a rapper, but did not leave for anything like that. Just wanted to make sure that I was following my dreams and making sure that I was putting myself in a position to be helpful to those who might need it. Okay, so I also started noticing that there were many people, professionals, parents, and new graduates, that they felt like they were stuck. and they were unsure and didn't know what their purpose was. So that's when I discovered that I would like to write some courses. I would like to open myself up to one-on-one coaching and small groups and workshops and things like that. And this was going to allow me an opportunity to teach in a just a new, more informative way. Okay. So I still do believe in education, of course, and I miss my students terribly. And I know that in the future, I will have many opportunities to teach many different things and concepts that I've taught in the past, and I intend to do that. And so I've been on a journey of rediscovery, courage, and growth, and I want to encourage you to be able to do that as well. Okay, so I have a few things I want to talk to about my coaching kind of up front. Um, Maybe some misconceptions. So, coaching isn't telling somebody what they should do or giving advice. It's helping them discover what's already inside of them, okay? And also helps them with their goals and clarity and the power that they might have lost that might have been buried like under fear and uncertainty or just the regular routine of doing what you always do. So, my promise for coaching is three things. You're going to gain clarity about what it is that you truly want. You're going to build confidence to go after it. And you're going to end up with the tools or toolbox to be able to have some strategy so that you can create some real and lasting change. Okay. So, I want to go ahead and move to the exercises that I was talking about. So you're going to need your journal and your pen. So if you can have that handy. So the first thing that I want you to write about, the first thing is take a pause and think, and this should help you with clarity. What do I really want? What is it that I really want? So if you can take a moment and kind of think about, like, if you had, if there was nothing that was impossible, that you could do whatever you wanted, what do you think that it would be that you would really want? So take a moment, get out your journal, write it down. We'll put a little bit of meditation music on, and we're going to first take a look at that for maybe just like a minute or two. Okay. What do I really want? So here's Okay, so you don't have to have a whole lot. You can keep it simple, maybe a couple sentences, kind of like an overall, like what you want. So hopefully this will help you have clarity because you're thinking about actually what it is that you would like. Okay, now just a little bit different one here. After you write that, what am I no longer willing to settle for? What is just causing me maybe some discomfort that I just don't want in my life anymore, or something about my situation that it's just not tolerable anymore? Is there something like that in your life? Okay, so if there is, go ahead and get your journal again. All right, we're going to write a little bit about that. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Okay, what I no longer am willing to tolerate, or I don't want to settle for. I'm going to work a little bit on that. Okay, so how are you doing with that? Did you think of a few things that maybe just kind of might be getting tolerable for you or causing you some discomfort in your life? Think about that for a minute. Okay? You might have many things. You only have to maybe write one thing down. Okay. All right, so we have one more exercise that we're going to do. What strengths do I have that I may have been underestimating? What things do I have as far as strengths that maybe I really haven't thought about? What are my strengths? Okay, so we're going to take some time and think about the strengths that we have. And hopefully that'll be a very positive experience. And I'm going to do this along with you. Can you think of a few things? Okay. How did you do with that? You should have different three things that you can kind of reflect on. Okay. So if you're doing this on your own after the workshop, you don't have to listen to my video again. You don't have to listen to my meditation music. You can listen to something else. I know I have one on my YouTube channel. It's Lake Ontario. It's a nice little video of like the waves. You look out at the water, and I've had a lot of people find that relaxing. So if you want to look at that and maybe get out a journal and maybe look at these again, you can. But for right now, we're going to kind of go on to the next exercise, okay? So the next exercise involves journaling too, all right? But I want you to take a little more time to be thoughtful about this. You only have to write one thing down. You just have to jot one thing down, okay? So listen what it is that I want you to write about. Jot down one area of your life, okay? So this isn't just all about careers. Maybe there's something you want to change in your life or your career where you'd like to see improvement. Is there an area of your life that you think could use some improvement? Just jot one thing down. Okay, take your time to write that down. We're just going to have quiet for right now, okay? Okay, so did you find something? Did you think of something that you think you would like to have an improvement on in your life? How did that go? Okay. So I want you to take a deep breath in. A deep breath out. And hopefully this helped you gain maybe a little bit of clarity about maybe what you have going on and that you would like to see changed or you would like to work on or maybe set some goals for. Okay, that's what my hopes is. Okay. So the second thing, an exercise that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to kind of give it to you as like a little bit of homework. Okay, so you don't have to do it right now, but let me talk about what I would like to see you do. Okay. So there's a simple exercise that I have been teaching my clients to do. And in this workshop, I would like you to give that a try too, okay? So you have been working on clarity with your last questions. Now I want you to move towards working on confidence, feeling good about yourself, feeling that you're capable, that you're able to overcome obstacles, that you're able to accomplish some goals. So confidence is the next thing, okay? So what I want you to do is every night, all right, I want you to write down one thing you've accomplished during the day. It could be something little, like baby steps, or it could be something big that you accomplished. Okay, so you're going to write that down. Maybe you're going to put it on your nightstand or someplace where you can get to it and do it when you're relaxed and you have like a calm moment, okay? You're going to write down just one thing that you accomplished that you're proud of, that you're confident about, and it could really just be anything, whatever comes to mind. Okay, so over time, this practice should become a list of evidence of your growth, something concrete that you can look at, that you can read. It's your confidence journal where you can go back and see, look at all the things that I can do. And over time, this is going to build some confidence for you. It's going to be a confidence journal that builds on your personal success. These are the type of tools that we can use and that I use in my coaching to move from stuck to more inspired, okay? From having a lot of doubts to feeling like you have direction. Okay, so, there's not a whole lot of pressure here. What I'm asking is if what we're doing right now, if you feel like it spoke to you or it resonated with you, okay? If you feel like I'm singing your song, okay? I'd love to invite you to take some next steps, okay? So I do offer free clarity calls where you can call me. I can talk to you, talk for 15 minutes. It's a free opportunity, and talk about some things that you're working on, maybe some struggles or some goals that you would like to set. Talk a little bit maybe about some things we've been journaling, or maybe what you feel that you'd like to move towards your next steps. So have a call with me. It's called a clarity call. And at this point, you can decide whether you think that you would like to maybe work with me one-on-one, or maybe you would like to join one of the groups coming up. We have some small groups that are coming up. Or maybe you would decide that you'd give me some feedback, and maybe we could set up another workshop and do something similar to what we've been doing in this workshop. So a clarity call. Okay, so after this workshop, I'm just going to put a link in the comments, and you can use this link to send me an email or book a clarity call, and we can do that. So sometimes saying yes to just a conversation, to just have a conversation, can open a really big door for you to have some major transformations in your life. That's what my hopes is, okay? So I just want to review kind of some of the things that we went over when we first started the workshop. We acknowledged that growth, it begins when you're ready to step into change. Like I said from my video on motivation, sometimes we don't feel motivated. Sometimes we just have to take next steps, and then the momentum comes and we start feeling like we're having some success, and we start feeling motivated after we take the steps. That's the thing about motivation. So after that, right, I shared my story. I know I've shared several times about leaving traditional educational settings and coming and doing some personal coaching for career development, personal development, really anything that you feel like you might want to work on. As far as, having goals. It's close to Halloween. Goals are on my mind. Goals and moving towards them, okay? And then lastly, you just learned 2 tools, right, that we just tried. We did the tool for journaling and answering these questions. Go back and have a look at them. And then I gave you another tool that you can do nightly, where you can talk about your successes, help you build confidence, or your confidence journal. I also have a tool for a career journal that is like downloadable, that you can have some reflections, some meditations, track your progress. I also have that available for those who are interested. It's something that is available with some of our workshops that are very particular to career and educational goals. Send me an email, drop me a comment if you're interested in that. I can get that to you. Just one more final thought before we close up. I just want you to remember this. You are meant to live the life that makes you feel fulfilled, okay? Not just one that just makes sense for your circumstances, but one that gives you fulfillment. We're meant to live a life that makes you feel alive, okay? So every career, every goal, every dream starts with just one decision, a decision to believe in your own potential for change, okay? So you have the potential. So tonight, when you close your laptop or you step away from this workshop, I want you to hold one question in your heart, okay? So you can write this down or you could just listen. What would I change if I decided to believe in myself again? What would I change if I believed in myself? And once you do, everything else begins to change within you. So thank you for joining me today. I'm Mrs. Ocasio, and I can't wait to see you in the next version of you that's waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining me.